So when the Lions lose, I can't watch anything. Rich Eisen, NFL Network, I can't watch anything because I don't want to hear what they have to say about my team, because as soon as we lose, that's all they have is negative things to say about my team. But I'm listening to, we won, right? And it makes things a lot easier. And I'm listening to the national media. And I'm thinking about how even with the Detroit Lions being they are 11-4, okay? And they literally have one of the top 5 records in football, all right? The Ravens are at 12-3. There are 4 teams with an 11-4 record, and then the Dallas Cowboys are number 5. So the Detroit Lions round out. They're somewhere in between number 2 and number 5. The Dallas Cowboys will be 6, right? And how they're still not getting the respect that they should. And it's okay. It's not okay, but it's okay. We're used to it. But it's up for the Detroit Lions to change that narrative. And even when they win, it's still not going to change. It's always going to be something. So that got me to thinking about a video topic. And this video topic is, even though we have 2 games left in the season, and I'm not trying to look ahead because there's a lot of football to be played, we can come out and lay an egg. But let's entertain the thought. We know that the Lions are going to be in the playoffs. That is solidified. We know that they're going to host a playoff game. That is also solidified. But as everybody's attention is on the Ravens and the 49ers and the Dolphins and the Eagles and the Cowboys and the Bills, who are not a top 5 NFL team, nobody is talking about our Detroit Lions. And it's a good thing, right? Being an underdog is a good thing. And you know me, I'm going to talk about the most famous underdog of all time, Rocky Balboa. And it got me thinking. There's a lot of nitpicking that I do with this team, but there's not, right? Our defense is not where it needs to be, okay? And we know that our offense is going to carry the team. All right. You look at a team like the Baltimore Ravens, where they are lopsided. Their defense carries their team. Their offense does just enough. You have the San Francisco 49ers, who's pretty balanced on both sides of the ball. You have the Philadelphia Eagles, who their offense also carries them to wins. Okay. Then you have the Dallas Cowboys that are pretty balanced. The Detroit Lions are not one of those teams. We are a unbalanced team that if our offense falters, we lose games. But I started thinking about how I'm listening to everyone talk about everybody but us, and how even though we're one of the top 5 teams in the NFL, we are tied for the second best record in the NFL with 3 other teams. We are still not getting talked about. And I said, Derek, what if the Detroit Lions are like Rocky Balboa, where he's always an underdog? And of course, I'm going to go to Rocky 4, right? I know it's fictional, but come on. Is it fictional? It's the ultimate underdog story. All right. In the playoffs, we're going to host a home game. And I'm telling you what, if we go against the Packers, they're going to start questioning, can we win that game? A lot of you fans are terrified to go against the Seahawks or the LA Rams. And I guarantee you that most of the media are going to probably give us underdog status at home against one of those teams. Oh, don't let Stafford come in here. Oh, don't let the Seahawks come in here. Oh, don't let the Packers come in here, right? So we're going to go into the playoffs underdogs most likely, even though we're at home, even though most of the time you automatically give home field 3 points, right, when it comes to the spread. But we're going to be underdogs most likely, right? Now, let's say we win that game. The number 2 seed, which means we are the second best team in the NFC, all right? I mean, don't let us get the first seed. Then that's going to be something. But number 2, number 3, it doesn't matter, right? Now, statistically, the number 1 and 2 seed really make the Super Bowl. And there are rare times that seeds other than number 1 or number 2 make the Super Bowl. Or, I'm sorry, the conference championship game, then going to the Super Bowl. So could the Lions we're already Rocky Balboa in every single movie. Rocky 3, Rocky 4, but this one is like Rocky 4. The reason I bring that up is because even though the Ravens, okay, yeah, the 49ers put up more points than we did, but we were just all off that day. A lot of injured players, no excuse, but a lot of injured players just off that day, right? They got beat up, but they're still up there. Everybody's still talking about the Niners. Like, it was just one game. Now the Ravens are Super Bowl favorites. Lamar Jackson Wilson is an MVP candidate. Now he's taken the lead over Brock Purdy, who should have never had it. No one, and I mean no one outside of the city of Detroit is talking about our team, let alone taking us seriously. But I thought about this. Wouldn't it be great for our team, the Detroit Lions, the great underdog story, the Rocky Balboas of the NFL, to come up, right? We got our first division title, hold our first playoff game, we get that victory. We host another one, depending on what happens and what seed we're in. We host another one. In round 2 or 3, meaning the division, all right, and the conference championship, we going to go against somebody we're going to be underdogs. Now, of course, we have to get there, and I'm not trying to look ahead, but this conversation got me thinking, right? And I wanted to have the dialogue with you guys. So we're going to go, and even if we're the second seed, right? If we're the second seed, we're going to host the divisional round if we win the wild card. And then if the 1 seed makes it, we got to go there. And that 1 seed is going to be us, the 49ers, or the Eagles, right? I think there's an outside chance that the Cowboys get there, but I haven't done the math. But it's going to be one of these teams. And I assure you, whichever, if it's the Eagles or the Eagles or the 49ers, the Lions are going to be that underdog, right? So let's say we get to that game. And any team that makes it from the AFC, right now, the Ravens and Dolphins have clinched. You have the Chiefs, Jaguars, Browns, Bills, and Colts that are in the playoffs with 2 weeks left. The Texans, Steelers, Bengals, Raiders, Broncos are on the bubble. Any team in that top 4 or the top 3, we're going to be underdogs against. We beat the Chiefs, okay? We have a better record than them. We're going to be underdogs against them in the Super Bowl. The Dolphins, underdogs. Ravens, underdogs. Both of those teams beat us last year and this year, right? We beat the Chiefs, but we lost to the Dolphins and we lost to the Ravens. But even on the road to the Super Bowl, so I guess the whole point of this video is the great underdog story. I saw a graphic, and I think somebody said this in the comment section to yesterday's video, that the last so many Monday night games have been decided, and the winner has been the underdog heading into, after the game. So, or heading into the game, the underdog has won the game. So I'm thinking the Lions aren't getting any respect, even though they are tied for the second best record in the league. They're not getting any respect, even though they are currently the number 2 seed in the NFC. They're not getting any respect. And I guess it's different from what we do. We argue with each other. We critique the team. We are fans of the team. We live, eat, and breathe, sleep this team, right? We have the right to do that. But these teams, these guys out on the other side, they just go by the history of the Detroit Lions. And even though this year we're showing that we are a top 5 team, and have been for most of the year, we are underdogs and probably will be on whatever run we go on in the playoffs. We face the Eagles underdogs. We face the Niners underdogs. We face the Cowboys. We going in there underdogs, right? So even though the Super Bowl is a neutral site, we're going to be underdogs to any AFC team. So I got to thinking, what if the Lions get to be able to have a rematch with the Baltimore Ravens? How are the Lions going to fare against the Dallas Cowboys? We already know they're going to the playoffs. We already know they're hosting a home game. So they're going to be the home team. So we're going to have the crowd around. No reason that we should be an underdog to a wild card team, right? But depending on who we play, we probably will be. And even if we're not, a lot of you fans are going to be scared. So I'm thinking about, what if the Lions take this underdog journey all the way to the Super Bowl? Now, again, I talked about this early in the season, and our defense is going to be the Achilles heel. And I think it all stems from the lack of a pass rush. If you go back and you watch the game, the rush, the front 4 didn't get a bunch of sacks. They might have got 1 or 2, but we have to dial up blitzes from the secondary and things like that, which exposes that stuff back there. All right. If he's been a dog lately. So I think that's inevitably why our season ends if the offense cannot play flawless. This offense has to be flawless for us to go all the way. But one thing I'll say is this. Now that we're in the dance, anything can happen. We can get upset, or we could go all the way. And I'm wondering, now that we know that according to Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, we aren't ahead of schedule. Now that we know they're not satisfied. They're not stopping. They're not okay with where we are. They want more. What if the Lions, with the defense, a leaky defense, an offense that's built to score, what if we can take advantage of what we have and potentially go all the way? And I'm not talking about, ladies and gentlemen, just getting there. I'm talking about winning it. Now that we're in the dance and we are guaranteed one home game, you know what that means, right? Of course, we got to win the game first. So I understand that. So no need to put it in the comment section. I get that. This video is solely based on the fact that being a top 5 team in the NFL, no one, and I mean no one, is giving us any credit at all. Even Jared Goff did not throw 4 interceptions in any game this year and against that defense who's been lights out all season. So I feel like, you know me, man, huge Rocky IV fan. You know, they thought Ivan Drago was a machine. I remember being little. I thought he was a machine. And then he's cut. You see, you hurt him. He's not a machine. He's a man. And then once they literally smelled blood, they saw blood, and it was over after that. And again, I started thinking about this. At the end of the whole thing, and I love this. This is the stuff that I grew up on. I thrive on this, right? And I feel like our team is that team. Nobody is talking about us. Remember Adrian tells Rocky, you can win. Then he goes and it's no easy way out. He's driving in the tunnel. I know all of it, right? So the end of the fight, again, I brought this up last week, says to win, you got to knock him out. You got to punch and punch like till you can't punch no more. This is your whole life. Meaning, if you didn't knock this guy out, you were going to lose by decision. So the Lions right now are the Rocky Balboa of the NFL. And to win, they're going to have to knock anybody. That offense is going to have to deliver knockout blow after knockout blow because the defense might do just enough to help us win the game. Okay? Because we were playing Nick Mullins yesterday. No TJ Hawkinson. He went out. Jordan Addison went out. They only ran the ball like 11 times. So I'm not taking away anything from the win. We got our division title. The defense stepped up. But we can't rely on them to make plays, right? So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I know this video is a little long, but these are the best ones, man. We just talk. And now that we're there, and I see this team is what it is. There's a couple pieces we could get. There's a guy, the defensive tackle, Joseph Day. He cleared waivers, so maybe we can make something happen. What are we going to do with Bruce Irvin, right? Our pass rush is not going to get any better. We only have one more elevation with him. James Houston, we're going to talk about that probably tomorrow, what Dan Campbell said about him. But I'm going to give you a little spoiler alert. They might start the clock. He didn't seem too sure, but I talked about that last week too. So our team is what it is. We're not going to get any better probably, right? So we're going to have to work with what we have and figure this out. But I truly believe that if the offense can keep flowing, we can beat anybody, and it's going to rest on the offense. Okay? So you saw what the defense did yesterday. The bad throw from Nick Mullins at the 30-yard line had Brandon Powell in the flat wide open. All they needed was a first down. Go look. All they needed was a first down, and he was so keyed in on Jefferson, he just threw it to him, and if he came and made a beautiful play. So anyway, pretty long video, man, but it was a lot to talk about. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How far, realistically, do you think the Lions can go? I know you're going to have two sides. You're going to have your emotional side, your fan side, and then your realistic side. My side is, I don't know. I think that this team with the offense can go all the way. The NFC is wide open. It just is a matter of what team you catch. Who are you at that time? So let me know what you think in the comments below. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. Feels good to be back in my own home. And as always, go Lions.